check that. Click those things, make sure that's going. Pop that out. Pop that chat. Kind of pop, lock, and drop it right there. Hello, hello. Welcome, Andreas. Welcome to the stream today. Let's see if we can get some people to jump on in. I tried to type jump on in, and I typed in jump on oi. So that's not, doesn't look good for my ability to function today. So that's interesting. But welcome, No Bones Jones. Nice to see you today. Nice to see everybody hanging out. We did some experimental stuff yesterday, which was a lot of fun. Today, we're going to get back to some commission work. No. Absolutely. I got kind of a weird one today. I think I got an emergency commission for an upcoming D&D game. So we're gonna try to draw Vedalken? Vedalken, yeah. Woo! How have you been? How have I been? I've been good. How are you? Is everyone staying safe? Staying healthy? Pushing people back with sticks? That's what I do. Just like, hey, get out of here. But yeah. Hope everybody else is doing alright. How are you guys today? How are you people today? I'm so bad at pronouns. I'm just terrible at it. I need to work on it real hard. How is everybody today? That's all inclusive. I like it. That's how I should be talking. That's how I should be thinking. No Bones Jones, good. Glad to hear you're doing all right. So, Vedalkens are kind of a weird race. I actually know them more from Magic the Gathering than I do from D&D. The Log Team, welcome. Staying healthy, good to hear. Good to hear. This is going to be kind of a fun one to draw. It's kind of interesting. I need to do some more research on Vedalkens, because they're interesting as a race. They're like somewhere between merfolk and, I don't know, just alchemical beings. Kind of interesting creatures. I'm gonna have an interesting pose here because it's supposed to be kind of magey and thin. What do I want to do with the arms? That's the real question. But what do arms? Do arms much hold? This is gonna be a mage here. Got my classic lean. Got my back lean. That's how I start most poses. I think I want the legs pretty close together today, though. I'm going to do something like this. So I'm also going to have like a weird cloak, which is pretty standard in a lot of the magic art. So I might be using a lot of that for reference here, which I think will be pretty cool. I'm going to do like a big old collar cloak. Have it kind of come down like that. Have it open a little bit. Then we're going to get some interesting clothes in here. So lots of layers, lots of cloth layers today. I'm just trying to make a level 20 plus D&D campaign. Oh boy. That's terrifying. I've never done like a level 21 shot. Because I always worry that you're basically jumping into max level without knowing how your players are going to kind of min-max and try to break the game. And it's very, very potential to do that. They have a lot of potential to do that. Especially level 20. Usually, the highest I'll usually start is like level 10. And that's only if the players kind of already know how the characters are supposed to work and they've done some research into it. And that way they can hit the ground running with kind of their whole kit working and go from there. Yeah, Vedalkens. Weird race. No ears. Sometimes they have ears. That's kind of the downside to magic art, is that so many different artists do it. kind of bridges to a lot of different variants. But it's also kind of cool. Lots of reference to go from. Gonna do that. We're gonna have like a chain here. Trying to make sure I just kind of sketch in all of the bits and bobs that are requested so that I don't forget them later. Now the other interesting part is that this is supposed to be like a cloak that's open, but I need to see the stuff on the hips. So I might have to do something more like this, where this is just kind of a cape. Maybe it's like, maybe it opens up real high on the arms. That looks kind of cool. I'm down with that. And we can just have like this kind of droopy mantle. How's the volumes today? I've had to reset everything after our experimental stream yesterday. Cat, there's nowhere for you to walk. You're just in the way. Yep. Go ahead and knock that off. That's fine. I'll pick that up later. You can multi-class to go beyond level 20. Okay. Andreas, maybe. Yeah, Doctor Strange without cloak. No Bones Jones. I like that. Andreas, there's some stuff you can do in Pathfinder to go into like mythic levels. I think that might have been in 3.5 as well. But I think with multi-classing, you're supposed to kind of stop like once you hit 20. So if you have a way to do that, please tell me more. Yeah, just do all the classes. I think Puff and Forrest did a story about him picking basically one level in each class. And he said it was the most useless character that he's ever played. But that could be a lot of fun. There is also some interesting like subclass options in Pathfinder that I've seen. Those are kind of interesting. So like for each level you get in fighter, you can take half as many levels in something else to kind of blend it together. I thought that was a cool idea. That's absurd. Right? This is kind of weird. Alright, I gotta figure out what I'm doing with this. I don't know if I'm happy with this shape. I might do something different. I think the body plan is a good way to go. I might do a little. Something else that was interesting is they wanted to make sure that this guy didn't have ears, because they don't have ears. I don't know if that was something super important. I mean, I'm not going to draw ears. That's easy enough. Barbarian Wizard Artificer Paladin. He just has a magical sword that is also a person and the deity. It could be pretty dope. Ah, you found me. My name is Excalibur. Oh, dang. Don't do that. If I do that instead, more of like a front approach. It's going to be a lot of sketching first. Just kind of figure it out. More like a slight turn. So I want this leg to be forward and this one to kind of be behind. That's really the thing I want to achieve here. And then I can kind of do something like this. He's not going to have any weapons because he's like a caster. So I don't know if his hands should be straight out. Maybe? Like, hey, yo, what up? You know, I just got magic and stuff. Ain't nothing wrong with magic. I think it's new page start. The other thing I'm thinking about is like how I want the cloak to be. Because there's some really cool Magic the Gathering like robes. Especially like wizard robes. Because this might be something interesting to play with. Just like a really big... I like the Doctor Strange idea. I think that's pretty cool. But I wonder how grand can I make that? I think it said it was supposed to cover his face. Let me check that thing. My sword is the swordest, the sword of swords. Perfect. That's awesome. He's granted me blade powers. And also 3 languages. Around the face and is treated like a hood. It drapes below the knee. Okay. Hey, Rook plus chat. That's all of us? All right, yes. Go ahead, David. Now that we're all included. I think that's everybody. There might be someone else. Oh, man. How's it going, David? Let's see. So maybe it should be up higher. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe this cloak should be like, kind of like this. I really liked that curve, but, you know, gotta go with what you got. It says it goes around the face, but I wonder if it means around the head. Wears a dark blue colored cloak that encases around the face, and it is treated like a hood that drapes down to the knee. So maybe it's an actual like cloak. Ooh, this is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna have to draw some stuff. That's all right. I'm gonna have to draw today. It's going. There's that. Well said. So looking at how powerful the gods would be with player levels, so somewhere between 70 and 100. What? Are you thinking about putting, like, letting people have 100 levels in something? Because that sounds way too intense. I mean, are you just gonna start stacking their all their stats would be the same basically if they all have all the same levels or same stat blocks. If you're just mixing them together, that'd be interesting. Okay, so that's a head. That's not what I need. So if I need this body plan is what I need. I need this to happen, and I need this to happen. I want this to be like straight up down. This dude's supposed to be pretty tall, so I kind of want the opposite of what I normally do, which is very like bottom heavy. I want to do something more like this, and kind of let the hood do its thing. That's kind of what I'm going to go for today. So let's see if we can make that function. Just going to start real loose. Start really, really loose. Could do something like this. We could have like that. I could have this come up to his face. That would be kind of good. I like that. And then we can do the hood. And then the hood comes down. I can dig that. I can get behind that. Something to that effect would be all right. Let's keep that for the moment so I can reference it. And I think I'm actually going to flip it for the moment. Whoa, what did I do? That's not what I wanted. There we go. It's easier to draw people facing this way. Okay. Oh yeah, David, writing a novel. Nice. It's a lot of work. Took a break from developing a magic system. Ooh, magic systems are tough. There's a lot of cool stuff online about developing those kind of things for D&D games, but for the whole book, it could be pretty interesting. I guess it's similar. It's similar, but maybe the level of requirement is different. I mean, hell, I've gone into a D&D campaign with like, okay, you guys are gonna fight a bunch of dinosaurs and don't ask questions. A dinosaur dragon hybrid
That would be pretty terrifying.
Yeah, that could be interesting. Like a T-Rex dragon. Would it be like a primal? You could do that. You could make it like a primal dragon. And just choose the... Or hell, you could just take one of the skeletal dragons and reconstitute it into a... into a fleshy being. Oh, man. So the Vedalkens are always remind me of Abe Sapien from Hellboy. I think that's kind of where they're supposed to be. I think they're supposed to be like fish folk, or from Atlantis or something. But I need to catch up on my Magic the Gathering lore. This is where I'm going to go with this. I think this is a great start here. Nope, no hair. No hair. They don't have eyebrows. No eyebrows for this fool. Okay, now we're going to go for some pretty sweet gear here. I think we have a hidden prince scenario going on. So we want things to be a little more elaborate, a little more custom fit. I'm just going to have a big belt because I like big belts. I like big belts and I cannot lie. That was really lame. Everyone forget I said that and just delete it from the internet.
It's like the myth in Airborne that's about a demon dragon hybrid. That could be cool too, demon dragon hybrid.
They call me El Diablo. My dad called me Flapper Wings. I can't think of cute dragon names. What would you call a baby dragon if you were like a dragon grandpa? Maybe we just call you Stinky. Okay, so we got that. We got our body going. Got some legs. Hey, all right, we're going places. Places that can be goed. That's exciting. So one leg, and we're going to go down here. Oop, forgot how legs worked. That's not good. Just totally forgot. Legs have feet on them, right? I think they have feet at the end. This one's going to be like this. This one's going to come down here, and that one's going to be like that. I might need... that looks so weird, but he's tall, and that's important. That was kind of the purpose. Let's come back to it, though. I think the problem here is that his hips are too far back. Really, this leg should probably be up here. That looks better. Yeah, that looks much better. Sketch. And now his shoulder doesn't really exist, which is also interesting. I think I might do two forms for this one. One with the hat up and one with the hat down. Just because of how my drawing goes. I almost want to draw this. I should have drawn this without the hood first. That's really screwing me up.
Knowing destruction echoes. The Vedalken team. I went in with a roll and buy effect with the roll, but that got out of hand really fast. Never forget. Gotta try new things. So it's alright to figure it out sometimes.
Yeah. So I think I need to reassess this. Let's zoom this back out. Is that what we want? I don't know if that's what we want. I shouldn't be drawing the cloak yet. That's really the problem. So let's get that out of the way. Jumping ahead. I told everybody not to do that, and then I just did it myself. That's right, we're still warming up. Yeah, see, I drew his face way too small. So that's all right. Start seeing where my anatomy went weird, which is good. Good rib cage going on and a neck. People probably want necks. That's very possible. Doesn't have an ear. Nose is kind of non-existent as well. But they do have pretty good face structure, so that's good. So we can give him some cheekbones. We can give him an eye, which this is more of a brow ridge than an actual eyebrow, so that can be pretty thin. We can do a face here. So I'm going to leave this pretty vague because I don't know how much of it's going to be covered up. So we're going to give him that, and we're going to go like that. That's basically our Vedalken face. Go ahead and give him a nice chin. Just like that. Maybe I'll give him some funny faces later. I'm not sure. Feel cute. We'll delete later. That nose should be pretty broad and flat. Like that's really the whole shtick. They got that big nose. Big nose ridge, and that is it. Just like that. Got a little Snape thing going, or Snape. That's right. For those of you that haven't read Harry Potter yet, you know, Snape was the guy without the nose. For those of you that have read Harry Potter, don't spoil it for everyone else. Let them figure it out.
I've gone so far off the rails.
It's great. All right, here we go. We got a face. Something else that's interesting about Vedalkens is on Magic, there's a lot of them that have 3 arms, which I think is kind of weird. You know, I don't really understand what's going on there, but who knows? I feel like there's a lot of lore there. I might need to grab my book, look at the guild guide book, and just figure out what the hell's going on. Probably good to research some a little more. I got a lot of reference images, but I didn't do a lot of research. My last idea was spells having a dynamic TN +1 -1 put to the spell. That means you have the spells you can auto cast. Interesting. Yeah, coming up with new game mechanics can be really, really tough. I think the best thing to do is kind of look at what your overall goal is for your players. And this goes for whether you're making a video game or writing a tabletop or writing a book. Just what is the intended use? So if you're casting spells every single turn, you know, do you want a lot of math that has to be looked at every single time? Or is it something that everyone can cast these spells and you need to, they need to be very simple, very fast? And how is your complexity going to change based on those requirements? You know, the more often you do something, the faster and easier it should be to figure out. So and that was kind of the problem with 4th edition. It just slowly got away from that, and it all became very complicated every round. It was very kind of got diluted, or not diluted, but convoluted. Hard to actually just sit down and say you did something quickly without going through a whole bunch of rule sets. Okay, so we're gonna have a spell book. That's a thing that will happen. Gonna have a bag.
I think the bag is on the opposite side of the spell book. Let's take a look.
Dagger and satchel on the Right. Okay. So spellbook's one side, dagger book on the other. Got it. Wait. No, I did that wrong. Yeah, I mean, so adding, I'm trying to make it engaging, but dumb it down so that a turn flies by with as little math as possible. Yeah, that's tough. There's also like that's a lot of card games are able to do that because they basically like here's the new rule you're doing, do a thing, and this happens. So I've seen a couple of things do that where basically armor doesn't exist because it's all based on cards. So the only way someone can block or you determine whether something has succeeded is if you basically have a counter card for it. Like, oh, I'm going to give up this, or I take less damage because of that. And with RPGs, it really is, the precursor to computer games because you just do all of it on the fly. So everything you want to have mapped out needs to be kind of set up first. You need to set up those base rules and then match everything around it. It doesn't mean you can't like design things. You can say, I want a fireball in there somewhere, but you're gonna have to figure out, how does a fireball work in your world? How does a fireball work in that system? Is that something you can easily manage into or adapt to your kit? Princely clothes. I gotta think about what princely clothes would look like. I mean, I want it to be like really elegant. Maybe if I just add some like really nice brocading or something in here. Some nice stitching. I like where this is going. I like this. This pose is a little stiff. A little bit stiff. So we're going to put this leg forward a little more. I'll probably do something else to these pants too, because a lot of the Magic the Gathering artwork I have for this, they were not like super baggy pants, but it's got some flow to it. So I might let that be a little extraneous there. Give them a nice good drapery here. I like this. I like this idea. Kind of cut like that. Just put lots of bracketing. Get that line back there. There we go. Really get some cool layers building up underneath here. Probably shouldn't. Gotta make sure I draw all the pieces. So first we'll do that. We'll cut it. And we'll do this. We'll add another layer. We'll have that come up like that. Basic combat is just beautiful right now, but introducing magic or tech is messy. Yeah, that can definitely be. Magic systems are pretty difficult sometimes. Something else you can look at is kind of the cost analysis of things. If you're creating a fireball, how much damage does it do versus swing of a sword? Like, what's your base unit of damage? What are most people going to be doing? Like, the weakest damage someone could do, is that a punch? Is it a dagger? Is it a cat scratching you? Like, what, especially, yeah, if you're using dice specifically, you kind of have truncated areas where you have to decide how damage applies. Like, you can't usually do less than a d4 without saying, like, okay, whatever this is, -1, or cut it in half, and that's where math starts getting complicated. So a lot of people I've seen have tried doing just like, every time you do damage, you take 1 harm. Like, it's not a bad system, but it's limiting. And then if you have spells, like, well, does that do one? Is that a spell that is repeatable every turn, just like a sword? And if so, should it do the same damage as a sword? Or why is it unique? What makes it different? Okay, so that leg will be like that. Oh, I actually really dig that. I like that idea. Just kind of like this belt is kind of arced this way. Then the spell book can be like hanging off right here. Give it like a chain. We'll work on that. It needs to be a dagger. Needs to be a dagger here. Maybe the satchel will be farther back. I think that. Does the satchel have to have a shoulder strap, or is a satchel just any pouch? When I think of satchel, I think of like shoulder bag.
Everything's going off 1d6 since you can get a d6 just about anywhere.
That's a good way to do it. It's a good way to do it. So without math, is a d6 your base damage then? Is that what the normal things will do? Or is everything based off a d6? And then you're doing math for it. That's another good way to think about it. I think the fate system uses just d6s. Do they have their own dice? They might have their own dice, now that I think about it. Okay, so we've got leg here. I want dagger. Where's the dagger by the book? Shoot.
I screwed it up already.
Okay, so this needs to be flipped, I think.
Because the book is on.
So satchel should be on the right hip. So I'm actually going to reverse this. So I'm going to put the satchel right here. Put little stitches on there. Get that bag going. And then a spell component pouch. Maybe we'll do the pouch first. Ooh, you know what we're going to do? Turn this into a skull. Because that's what I do. I'm going to give this a big old, but like a weird skull. Something like that. We have the component pouch right here. And then the larger satchel behind it. And then we can put the stitching in to show that it has some value there. And then this we can fancy up. But I like this kind of like weird little flap belt here. I think that's going to be interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. That looks pretty cool. That looks pretty cool. Okay.
The dagger is on the left, right? Nope, I screwed that up. Spellbook and the
Pouch are on this side, on the other side. So this should have the satchel and the dagger. So that's fine. So we'll put the satchel back up here. And then the dagger. Ooh, the dagger. We could do some fun stuff with the dagger, but we could do something like this. Maybe it should lay... No, that's fine. We can do that. Put the dagger like that. Maybe we'll change that a little bit. And then this side has the small pouch. And a spell book, which I think the spell book should be probably pretty... We'll do some elaborate stuff with the spell book. I think that'll be fun. Give it like a buckle. Have it hang off the side a little bit.
D6 plus half your strength is damage for just about everything. Strength is a D6, but can go up to 8 if you have a perk. HP maxes out at 9 if a character creation. So with D6, you can one-shot anyone you can hit if you're lucky. HP maxes out at 9. That's interesting. So if your HP maxes out at 9, that means pretty much anybody can kill anybody within about 2 hits. That's an interesting way to do it. That's pretty similar to the what did the McElroys play in Amnesty? What game system was that?
Fate?
Was that Fate?
I don't know. I can
It's about the same. 'Cause instead of having hit points, you just have basically like three or four chances to be hit. I think that was pretty interesting. So there's definitely a lot of fun things you can do with small numbers. Let's do something like this. I really like this kind of like hooked aesthetic. So maybe I'll put that on the chest. Do something like this, really. That way the skull kind of fits in as well. Do something like that. I think that looks pretty good. And then this will be basically we can do like a fake or a faux scale. Something that's not really a scale mail, but it's got a texture to it. Something that'll look kind of like this. Could almost do like hexes, actually. That would look pretty good too. Just to give it a nice kind of unnecessary. That might make it look a little too sci-fi though. Yeah, I think that's going to be a little too sci-fi.
If the target isn't, it's in armor. Yeah, it's a bit of an oof. Yeah, you can see how like trying to balance game mechanics can add up really fast.
I've done a lot of little tiny development where it's like, okay, here's what this thing should do, here's the baseline, and then when you actually sit down, it's like that's 7 or 8 different variables that we have to keep track of for that one stat. I think D&D 5e really tried to nail that down, and that's why the character sheets are so elegant, because they really are. Like there's not a lot there, but they have a lot of versatility with those stats. And so the other games really have to go to, if you want to get much simpler, you really have to cut it down. And instead of having stat for everything, maybe just attack and defense, right? 2 stats instead of 6. And then you add magic. Now you have 3. How do those 3 different things interact? And that's where things start getting real complicated. Something I've enjoyed doing before in the past, but I had a job doing that for a while. And I would do it again. Absolutely would do it again. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of fiddling, a lot of play testing. Okay.
3 stats plus health. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Because even with that, you got a lot of flexibility. Okay, so this arm's going to be like this. I think this is probably just going to be down. I think he's going to have probably... We'll do this one kind of off to the side. Do I want to... Yeah, I think I'm going to have a chain going up like this to the belt. This is kind of holding the book together. We'll put like a strap on it. When in doubt, more belts. Got a book? Put a belt on it. Treasure chest? Put a belt on it. Yep. Got a belt that's not working right? You know, just get another belt. I feel like this one's going to be a lot of cleanup, but I'm also, you know, doing a lot of weird stuff here. Sometimes it's okay to just play around on the page and see what comes up. I will probably put like a buckle here. Put some runes on the book. 'Tis an evil tome. I've been playing way too much Diablo lately, and by that I mean I've been playing Diablo lately. Stay a while and listen. Please don't tell Adria that her mother was a witch and that she's actually the devil. Spoilers. Diablo 3 spoilers. I think I can say that once the 4th game comes out. What exactly is cunning? That's a good question. What do you consider cunning? Kind of the same thing with charisma. Like, how do you use charisma in your world? Is it force of will? Is it charm? Is it a physical thing? Is it... I want this arm out because it's actually going to be like draping the cape. So otherwise we would just see the robe. That's one thing a lot of people don't realize when they're like, oh, my character has this really, really cool robe that they wear all the time. Like, that's all people will see. Robes are pretty good at covering stuff up. Kind of their whole jam. Let's do that. Let's get this going. I do like this idea that it is like the hood actually drapes with everything. That's pretty cool. Get some folds in here. Clean up a lot of this. So now you can look at the difference between these two. And this is why I'm always telling people to, you know, draw what's behind. Make sure you understand your volumes. So you can see the difference in these two just from me spending the time to figure out what's underneath the cloak. Big difference. Big difference. So that's what I mean when I'm yelling at people about drawing your volumes. Understanding what's there, the shapes. Sometimes doing a study just means, you know, drawing more than you'll need for the final picture. And I kind of like this idea that he's got like the mouth cover. But I wonder if that should be kind of tucked in. So it's almost like a scarf or just kind of folded up. I think that might work. So we'll do something like that. And then I no longer need the chin. Sad day. It's a cool chin. Pat myself on the back a little bit, and then it goes away. That's how we do. We'll do that. I think that looks pretty good. We'll just darken that up. Ooh, double nostrils. That looks pretty sweet. Actually, I like the other one better. I think we're going to keep that. I just need to clean up the face a little more. I stopped reading the chat. I'm sorry. I got distracted. If you ignore cunning at character creation, someone is going to stab you in the back. Literally or figuratively. That seems a little oppressive. And I say that as someone who has played a handful of stir mages and a couple buff wizards. It's fun to not do the norm. going on here. We got some good lines going on. Got some shading starting. This eye could be a lot bigger. That could be interesting. Maybe we'll play with that. I think this could also be a little more intricate. Since they don't have the eyebrow, I really want to like get the detail of their face kind of mapped out. Because otherwise it's going to look very bland. Maybe that's something we'll actually use in the design here. They almost look like fish vampires. That's the best way I can describe the Vedalken. Don't know how else to. Like if a vampire boned a fish. No, I wouldn't put that past Magic the Gathering. Sounds like something they might do. Somehow this character is able to be very sharp and very smooth at the same time. Breaks the laws of physics, and I'm not too happy about it. We'll make it work. Probably gonna do this. I'm probably gonna let this drape, and then I might actually do this. I think that looks kind of cool. And then we can put like a cool design somewhere in here. Some more etching. Put like a few different cloth textures in there to really let that kind of get its own whatever. Do some interesting boots. Kind of having the knee. I usually let the pants go below the knee, but I think this time we'll actually do like a high boot. Maybe this foot should be back here. How does that look? That's not bad. That's the other problem I have with when I do commissions. People are like, I have this really cool weapon. It should be on his hip. It's like, oh, but then I can't show the weapon. Like I want to fling those weapons around. Like he's got this sweet dagger that he just floats around his head. It's like that'd be great. Let's do that. So, got to put a lot of detail in the hilt, so the hilt looks cool. And I think that'll make up for the dagger being sheathed. That. Get some weird bat wings on this skull. Call it the Ozzy belt. I don't know if that's all right. Maybe that's not good. I don't think Ozzy Osbourne particularly liked bats. I think he was just known for eating them. An army will suffer if their leader isn't cunning enough to make use of their training. Interesting. So, like, some tactics stuff going on. That's kind of cool. Log King, I hope not. Let's try to keep everything together. Delay the inevitable. Foxhound. Wait for Foxhound to show up. Take out the robots before the robots get us. Let's see what's going on here. Well, we can keep going on this. I think we're doing all right. Making some progress. Maybe this is too jagged. I don't know. It's supposed to be princely, right? So maybe the skull is too much. I thought that was a cool idea, but now I'm not digging it. I'm not digging it anymore. This should be a cool shirt. And the belt.
How can I make the belt look awesome? That's the real question. What would make the belt look really cool?
Maybe the belt not being cool is okay. Maybe it's supposed to be
Something different.
Maybe we should put another skirt here. So that the body comes down. Right, there's the waist. Could definitely do like a pulled up coat here. And let that kind of go out. Let that become a drape. We have the cloak. Got this, we got that. Oh, I need the pouch anyways, the component pouch. Do something like that. Component pouches are interesting because I think they it's one thing, like as an item they exist in D&D and they're a great way for simplifying the casting classes, but like they don't really have a description for it. I kind of like the idea that people keep their stuff everywhere, so if like you're a really battle happy mage, maybe you'd have like a bandolier with some of your components on it, or maybe you have like strapped to your arm, you have like a little bit of bat guano just like smeared on your arm at all times. Ready to cast that fireball. So that's kind of a cool idea. Bandolier of bat guano. Making an item. Throw it in the homebrew page. I totally forgot to get into the live stream on Discord today. I'm sorry about that, everybody, but maybe tomorrow we'll do that. I think tomorrow we'll do a Discord day where we'll actually hang out with the Discord again. Try to invite some people on to draw. That'll be a lot of fun. But for today, I just need to get this commission done because I want them to have it for their game. Because that'll be super awesome to show up with new character art. There we go. You know, that looks pretty good. And we can get some interesting things going on here. We can really start having some fun. Yeah, that looks cool. I like that. Okay. We have 2 body wraps and some kind of leather girdle. That's looking pretty good. Got a shirt. Got a cross shirt, which I really like. Had a little wrinkles in there. This shirt might go all the way down. I don't know. Maybe we can do a bracer. A bracer of wizard power. That's what I call them. It's called a watch.
For the publishable version, Magic needs a huge nerf pad right now.
That's fair. See, that's kind of that's the tough part. Really, the only way to nerf things is to, get some playtesting going. See who wants to try stuff and see what happens. Take notes. I think Adam Savage was the one that said the only difference between science and goofing off is taking notes. Or writing things down. It might have been that. I think that's always good. Maybe open hand. Pinky wouldn't be seen. We put this finger over here. That's looking kind of cool. Feel like he's a cowboy pulling his duster back so that he can get to his guns. But it's a spell book. Call to pew pew. Pew pew. Hey, all right. You know what? That's looking a lot better. I'm pretty happy with where this is going. This is going to be kind of etched. That's going to be folded. Another fold. I got to keep the skull too, which is pretty cool. I bet we could put some pretty intricate, cool stuff on this. Keep up with the aesthetic. Make it look like it's kind of got some etchings on it. That'll probably look pretty good. We can come back to that though. I think that's a cool idea. Got the big hood. Got some got the arm coming in. I actually really like that circle just as a kind of an accent. I might use that volume shape as my guide. Let this kind of billow out. Kind of like that. How does that look? Is that too billowy? I wonder if this line is actually better. Might actually make it even more dramatic. Bring this straight down. With the secondary cloak here. That's not too bad. That is not too bad at all. We got this one going like that. It's going to be lined with gold. This one is not going to be lined with gold. And it will curve back this way. And then we have our third layer. I think this should actually cut forward though, so we'll probably do something like that. Draw that through. Okay, so we got a few different layers going on here. This is good. I like that. I like where those are going. Kind of wave those in. Get some more shading in here. This is probably, I think, the weakest part right now is this chest piece. And it's just kind of messy. Just really got to figure out where we want these lines to be. What they are doing.
Is that your way of asking for a playtest, Rook? You know, I don't have a lot of time to be jumping on stuff, but if you want to try to find a play group inside of the Discord, you're more than welcome to ask. That's what the Promote Yourself tab is for.
You're also welcome to use the... I think I have like a where is it? Let me look.
We do have a D&D game in progress, so if you want to,
You know, use the voice channel to play a D&D game, which is also available for everybody. Or you want to try to playtest your game. That's totally accessible. I'd be down. I might be able to jump in and listen sometimes to see what's going on, but I don't know if I have time to sit down and actually play a game. Which is funny because of all the not work we're doing right now. Actually, I'm more busier than I normally am, which is kind of weird. I still have to get that video out today. Ooh, it might happen. I doubt it. I doubt it, but it might. Fingers crossed. Gotta get that video done. yeah, playtesting is a lot of fun. So if you do find some people to do it, you're welcome to use the Discord to help out in that endeavor. Let's see what else we got going on. How do I feel about that arm? How does everybody feel about that arm? It feels a little weird to me. I think the elbow is bent a little wrong. I think the hand actually should probably be over here. That would cover up more of our book. But right now it just doesn't look right. Let's see what we can do. Because we could play with this a lot. I bet this should probably be like that. That's pretty cool. I mean, like, that's better. Unless he's like covering his face. They call me the Batman. I don't know why that's where I went. That's where I went. I think we could probably just slowly bring it in a little bit and it'll probably be fine. Whoops. Whoops, 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 whoops. Too many buttons. Too many buttons pressed at the same time.
I likely won't be on voice. It's a bit loud here. But I'll post a sign up after this stream. Maybe he's pulling the mask down. Yeah, maybe he was pulling the mask down. I don't know. I feel like the arm is good. The hand is kind of odd.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of oddly placed too. So let's take a look. I'm gonna move it here, and we're gonna go from there. Let's see if we can do that. Let's try that out. Oh no, my buckle! The buckle's gone now. Oh well. Art is temporary. The hand is going to be like that. I think I also made the hand too straight for where it's placed. It's really that should be the knuckles. So I might need to just do something like this. Does it change where it bends though? Because like the drapery would be like that. There we go. That's looking better. We can have that come down a little too. Okay. Do a quick finger sketch here just to get this going. That might be a little too stubby. Okay, so that's a hand. That's working. I think that's a little better. These lines are really thick for what should be here, I think, is the other problem. So let's clean some of this up. The book absolutely should be kind of front and center. And all of this cloth should probably be a little more in the background. I think the pant leg looks pretty good. If you want things to look like they're closer to the camera, thicker lines. If they're farther away or internal lines, it should probably be a lot thinner. Let's get that like that. Let's do that, and then let's actually draw some real folds here. There we go. It's looking good. Do that. Try to get everything kind of matched up. So yeah, this can all be a little less dark. And because these are on the outside, I'm going to make them a little thicker. Oh boy, gotta fix that leg too. Kind of want like long, high boots, which I might do like a bracketed system here. Just to get it looking kind of interesting. When in doubt, draw a box. Add some belts.
What? Level 110. What's going on? What did I miss? Andreas, what are you talking about? Yeah, bat, Vedalken, bat. Vedalbat.
Robin Kokokra. That's pretty good. I like that one. Could do a whole owlbear scenario going on. Should I like? Yeah, we can do that. I like that idea. Can let that drape around. Do something like this. The leather kind of folds over. But I do like this idea where it's like it's got the metal kneecap, kind of goes into a shin guard. Maybe it stops it right there. That's probably fine. It's got a little bit of stitching to it. Give it a heel. And we'll figure out the rest here in a second for that. But that's a foot. I don't know if I like that per se, but we'll see what happens. See how that looks in a second.
Mistra. At minimum. I gotta look this up. Mistra. Are you talking about actual level or like CR? That's a big oof. The only known description of a mortal that became Mistra was a beautiful peasant girl who began her studies of the art. Lady of Mysteries. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's a good idea. You think she's level 200? Why do you think that? I would be interested to know. You are interested to know your math. Level as if she was a player. Okay. I mean, like, a level 22 Carity. Wait, 30 plus DD rank? Most DDs are 20 HD outsiders with 30 to 50 character levels as well. That's crazy.
I didn't know that was a thing. That's actually kind of cool. But level 100, you say, huh? Is that for a specific reason because of classes, or? I really do want to know where you came up with that number. That's kind of it's a bold claim that I'd love to hear about.
It's a rough calculation.
Never really thought of. Usually what I do when I make a deity is I give them a stat block for whatever it is I want to do with them. Sometimes I have them be an NPC that's disguised as someone, and I'll give them the stat block of whatever they're disguised as. And then I just kind of give them my own, basically like special abilities. And sometimes I have done in the past, basically where it's just like they are unaffectable by the players, which that could probably be pretty frustrating, but Usually it hasn't come up as an issue yet. Like, I wouldn't make them fight somebody that couldn't be killed. Or couldn't be touched. But if they chose to fight it, you know, you gotta figure something out. Okay, this lake should be like here, here, here. Okay, no, that was right. I guess I should put that back. It's just slightly, maybe too small or something. We'll figure it out. I think this foot just needs to be a little bigger.
D&D ranks are, yikes, no PC should ever have a rank. Alright. Even a 0 hiding is not dirty.
I really like the common ranks in common, like merchant and royalty. I think those are fun. I might try to make another I was gonna say priest, but that's not right. Another shopkeeper, and just actually have them have levels in merchant, just for funsies. Okay, so that's that. That could probably get a little darker. Put some more levels in that. Did we erase the dagger? Is that what happened? I did somehow erase the dagger completely. Well, we got a bag. Got a bag. And we need a dagger, right? So maybe the dagger's actually hanging down. That could be interesting. The dagger should probably be like right here. And make sure I'm not adding a whole bunch of tangents to this, so the line stays pretty clean. Ooh, it's gonna be a lot of cleanup in this one. That's okay. Thin lines, thin lines.
Mine was a paladin with murder and saint.
That's kind of cool. I like the idea of reviving characters using deities. Like divine intervention is kind of a cool premise. It gives characters a little more to focus on, I think. They feel like they're connected a little more to the kind of world that they are playing in. Oh crap, I'm important. I can't just go for gold anymore. Maybe this should go. Maybe the shirt should go all the way to the arm. Killed Orcus. Nice. Orcus is a great villain. All the orcs worship Orcus. That seems a little on the nose. It makes sense. Makes sense if you think about it. Either way, he's evil. And he's coming for you. It's like, oh crap. Okay, so there's gonna be a chain here. I think that'll be pretty sweet. Yeah, I don't know. I hate when I cover up hands because like it's a sloppy. It can be really sloppy, or a sign of like, oh, I don't know how to draw hands, so I'm not going to draw them. But I honestly feel like this dude just would not be showing his hands. This one you can see because of the book, but like, I think this one could just be behind him. As a rule of thumb, I generally don't like to draw characters like that, but I think this works. I think it works for this guy, and I might just roll with it, and we'll see what happens. I'll draw a cool dagger handle, though. Oh, what kind of dagger? Kind of want it to be like if it's a mage, I want it to be like an actual magically enhanced dagger. Maybe a bird head. Put a bird head on it. Put a bird on it. When in doubt, put a bird on it. Caw-caw! America.
Probably send it through Discord. Risen Martyr dies, goes back, and slowly turns into a celestial. At Risen Martyr 10, they ascend to the heavens. Oh, that's pretty cool. Hey, Rook, where can I send you her levels? Because YouTube doesn't want me to send that to the comments. Yeah, go ahead and drop that in the homebrew section. There's the hashtag homebrew and lore. It's a great place to put that. I think that would be... I could take a look at it there. Oh, I'm running out of steam. What time is it? How long have we been streaming today? We hit the hour mark? I think we did, but I don't know. Let's take a look. Yeah, a little over an hour. I think I can finish up some of the line work, and we'll probably call it a day. But yeah, feel free to send that in the hashtag homebrew and lore. And that will... 20 levels of sorcerer, 20 levels of wizard, 3 levels of rogue. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Excuse me. That was a big yawn. Why one level in cleric? That's kind of interesting. Granted a deity rank 0. Interesting. I'm gonna have to look this stuff up. I haven't ever played with these kind of mechanics, but they might come in. They might come in handy. Might be good information to know. Okay, so that's gonna go like that. It's just going to straight curve in. Just cut in like that. Yep. I want that to be cleaner, so I'm going to get rid of that. That looks solid. Cut that once again. It's an outside edge, so we're going to do a little bit thicker. A little bit thicker. That's looking good. Let's try cutting out some of this darkness here. Leave a lot of these lines. I like these little sketch lines here. Beep, 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 beep. This is not the pant leg. This is. So I want this line to kind of come in like that. And then we'll do this. So hopefully that will separate those two. Yeah, that's looking real good. Yeah, so one level in cleric, magic domain. Interesting. But couldn't you get the magic domain through sorcerer or wizard? Had players writing his name as the deity they were worshiping. Yeah, because to me, like, especially for the deities, like taking class levels would make sense to grab abilities. But at the same time, like, cleric would usually require the study or worship of something else, and that doesn't fit with me for clerics, or for deities. I guess you could start as a cleric and learn things and then have that affect you in the afterlife or in the ascension. So maybe that does make sense. But at some point, I really feel like looking at this, I like this because Sorcerer, Wizard, and Druid, Warlock, Artificer are 20. Really, what that says to me is like they have a high comprehension of Arcane, but like Bard, Rogue, Cleric being low means that they don't have a good comprehension of people, which is kind of cool. Druid is actually throwing me through a loop because having all of this knowledge of Arcane, I would expect them to have no levels in Druid or low levels in Druid. Warlock feels like it could be Arcane, but it should still be based more around like outsider power or power that is taken or granted. So, like a deity being a warlock almost feels like they would then be like a sub-deity or what have you. But if they're granting someone warlock powers and they have access to the warlock spell list, that still makes sense for them to know how to do those spells. But I don't know if they necessarily need the levels in it. That's interesting. She was human, yeah. So like that's what I'm saying. Like the cleric makes sense for the ascension to happen, but I think there's some stuff and found the official D&D 5e variant rules that make it max level 50. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of interesting ways to start dealing with deities. I think for a while there, the sun, is it the sunstone or the star? Sunstone, I think, is the other thing. What's the thing that grants wishes? How did Nathus ascend? I don't remember. I have to look into that. But even then, once you ascend, I feel like you still only have your class levels and then maybe access to more stuff. Because it depends on how and what you're ascending for. So maybe it's on a turn-by-turn basis or a character basis. Definitely lots of ways to do it. She was a warlock of Mistra, and now she's a warlock. Yeah, okay. So that makes more sense, because then if you are like a level 20 warlock, if you're a level 20 warlock and then you ascend, do you just maintain your warlock abilities for whoever you are worshipping? And if you become that person, in the case of Mistra, would you still have to like summon the deity's powers, or would you just like have access to those powers? Like so my thought is like Hunger of Hadar or Black Tentacles. Like you're summoning these powers from the beyond, but like I feel like if you ascended, you could just be Black Tentacles. That's kind of my thought. Instead of having to cast it, you just like shoot tentacles out of your arm. Imagine creating an extremely long campaign, the Road to Olympus or something. Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple. There's a couple that deal with trying to get your characters ascended, but they usually end there, or they allow you to go for like 5 bonus levels. That's what the extra is. Kingmaker? No, that doesn't sound right. I'll have to look it up. There's a lot of stuff that exists already, but you can definitely look into. Let's get that heal in there. Get that shoe done. Oh man, that looks so bad. The guidelines I had looked okay. And then I did something and it just went terribly, terribly wrong. Okay, that's the shoe form. Feet! Why can't I draw feet? I wonder if I maybe need to make this a little wider. He's supposed to be thin though. He's not supposed to be buff. Not supposed to be a buff boy.
Yeah, I really want to draw that hand. Not having that hand is throwing me through a loop. I think maybe this should be smaller if I'm going to do it that way. Have it kind of do this. Because is the hand covered by the cloak? I guess we could do that. Just cover everything up. Kind of do something like this, where this kind of comes down. How's that look? Actually doesn't look too bad. And then this should actually be droopy anyways. So we could probably have it piggyback to that line and just, yeah. How about that? Not what I expected to happen, but there it is. Can just cut that down here. Not sure I like the bird head anymore, but you can see where it goes. I've created a weird tangent here. No, I like that better with the billow. We could probably match it up to this though, so maybe like that. Except now we've got a straight cloak. So it should actually curve like this. Because it's slanting, so it should really be like that, I think. And all of this should probably come up. Like that. There we go. Okay. Well, I'll probably fiddle with that and clean that up a little bit. Golden chain around the neck. Hold everything together. We're going to make this hand look a little better before we finish up. But I think we're getting there.
Fight 3 for Elder's Knight. What? After you possess a character for a mortal realm, an avatar of your power, gained worshippers and started going for deity rank 0. You can see here. Should anything made it will become omnipresent. That's kind of cool. You gain, yeah, omniscient. Yeah, that's interesting. That's the issue with saying that you become all powerful as a deity in your domain. That's why I think it's interesting that you would have multiple classes. Because I think having the deity abilities are really cool, and gaining, like, I could see gaining any power a cleric would have. You should technically have based on your domain. Like becoming a deity, you would then take a cleric domain and have access to all those kind of deity powers. But I don't know if you automatically become all these other classes or other things. That's super weird. Super weird. Super cool. Still really cool. I like this conversation. I like where this is going. But yeah. I think we'll probably call it here today. We've got some good base. I might try to finish this up tonight. If not, I will do it later in the week. I think tomorrow we're going to try to do a Discord with everybody, so that will be fun. Get the voice chat going again, and possibly get a group, blah, 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 blah. Talk. A group drawing session together. I think that'll be the most fun. So thanks again, everybody, for watching. Remember to keep your dice on the table. Make sure you're keeping healthy, and keep researching those deities out there. I want to see what everybody comes up with. Like, if you have a cool idea, go ahead and drop it in the homebrew discussion, and we'll go from there. So thanks again for watching today. Nice seeing everybody. Yeah, level 20 cleric, right? Like, that should be the basis. Regardless of what you want to become a deity in. Everyone should be a cleric, but maybe not. I don't know. It's weird. We'll talk about it later. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see everybody next time.